So we talked about an idea, a concept, a thought process last week that you as a leader, regardless of where you're at, right? Brand new officer brought on or promoted to do stuff for Battle of Dazar lore, or you're an old school, old fart like me who's been around for 100 years, guild leader, raid leader, officer, all this stuff for, a decade, whatever. Or you are in a professional environment, you're a supervisor, team leader, CEO of a company, whatever. This idea that you are going to be a beacon that people are going to want to kind of flock to talk about stuff, right? They're going to want to vent. They're going to want to share things with you simply because you are the guild leader, an officer, a raid leader, the program director, the project manager. They're going to come to you and go, "Hey, do you have a minute?" Or there are going to be situations where you, as that team lead, as that supervisor, as that officer, are going to go, "Hey, I need to talk to you about a sensitive topic." And we talked about this on last week's video. So, while I went into it a little bit, I don't think that really I did a great job, or maybe we can go into a little bit more detail about when you are approached or you have to approach a raid member, a raider, a employee of yours, that there are certain things that you need to keep in mind, certain things that you should be doing to ensure that everything is okay, that this thing goes off successfully, that you get your point across, that they feel that their point was gotten off across, in a well, that everybody was listening, et cetera, et cetera. So, first and foremost, and there are a billion books out there. I'll just take a step back. There are a billion books, as I'm sure a billion YouTube videos. There's articles and blogs and all these things. So this is something that, I'm only going to scratch the surface. Not going to do a great job because there are people that literally make their entire wage on doing and speaking about what we're going to barely cover today. So just a few things that I've kind of picked up along the way. First and foremost, when you need to speak to someone or someone asks to speak to you, and it's obviously in a very personal nature, right? I need to talk to you about how bad your DPS is, or you need to tell me how awful your girlfriend and boyfriend are. The first and most important thing here, and I'm going to repeat it a couple of times, is to listen, right? I know it's weird when you're having a conversation with someone. The most important thing would be to actually listen to the words that are coming out of their mouth. But it's true that we as people sometimes aren't great at this. I would ask that, you be respectful about what's going on, right? If someone comes to you and they say, "Hey, I need to talk to you about something. Do you have a minute?" The incorrect answer is, "Yeah, man, jump into Discord. I'm just playing PUBG. Yeah, man, I'm just doing a Mythic Plus. Go ahead and jump into Discord and we'll talk about it." No, that is not the right answer. The right answer is, "Yeah, give me a couple of minutes. I'm almost done with this Mythic Plus, like 15, 20 minutes. And then you have my full and undivided attention." Or, "Hey, I'm finishing up dinner. I'm in a match of PUBG. Give me like 10 minutes. I'll probably die really quick. And then I'm all yours." The key here is just that. And hopefully you guys picked up on it because I said it twice. You want to give your full and undivided attention to that person, because this could be a very sensitive, this could be a very awkward talk, regardless of whether you're the one initiating it, "Hey, your DPS sucks, we need to talk," or they're the one that initiated, "Hey, I have a personal or professional problem, I need your assistance, your ear, your advice, etc." Now, with that being said, you should expect the same from that other person. If you can tell, or you see that they're doing something, they're playing Diablo. "Oh, new season just came out. Got to level up. Got to, do some rifts." Or, they're obviously, they're doing a Mythic Plus with you, whatever. "Hey, man, do you want to talk about this when you're free, when you get some time to yourself?" Do that, because it's going to be very hard to go, "Hey, your DPS sucks. Hold on. I just got a new legendary item. Hold on, I'm getting shot at, hold on, the tank just pulled a really big pack of mobs and I need to heal them." It's not going to go off very well. So actually listen to the person and make sure that both of you guys have the full and undivided attention of the other one. Now, once you have that situation where you guys are able to talk to each other, without interruption, without anybody intervening, without any of that. Be respectful to one another. There is a concept that I like to hold to. I don't like to yell, right? I did my fair share of yelling in the Marine Corps. If I have to yell, the raid is seriously messing up. I don't like to yell. So I shouldn't be yelling with a one-on-one conversation with you about a problem. There's no need for it. There's no need for insults. My language is peppered because of my time in the Marine Corps with some naughty words, right? They're words that even when I'm going through, these videos, whether they're scripted, whether they're off the cuff, like something like this one, which is a little bit of both, words get out, right? Naughty words get out. The F word gets thrown out there, especially, but when I'm talking to you or you're talking to me about something very sensitive, try to scale that back a little bit, try to hold that back just a little bit, because you want to come through professional. You want to come through as a caring and listening individual, or someone that is being very direct and respectful in what they're coming to you about, right? If I come to you and I say, I need to talk about how fucked up your DPS is, it's shit, you really sucking at it, we're gonna have to fucking bench you, which, whatever, that's not gonna go over well. Even if you know that that's how I speak normally, there's a big difference between that and, hey man, we need to talk about your DPS. It's really not been sufficient for the raid and we gotta fix it. Huge difference, right? There's huge difference in using expletives. There's a huge difference in yelling. There's a huge difference in insults. Even if I say, hey, your DPS sucks, we got to fix it, that's different than, your DPS isn't up to par. We got to fix, there's a problem with it. There's something going on. There's something that we need to do. Huge differences just based on the words that we use. And we go back to that tact, right? When we talked about leadership traits and leadership principles, tact, the ability to speak to someone without creating offense. This right here. So don't yell, don't insult, don't, be disrespectful, because you want and expect the same thing from the other person. Now, we circle back around and I'm going to repeat it again. Actually listen to the person, right? Have them make sure that you have them listen to you. Ask questions. Make sure that both sides understand what's going on. If you pull me aside and you go, hey, I need to talk to you about this personal situation that's going on, right? And I've had raiders come to me and they've texted me and they've sent me Discord messages and Skype messages and Google Chat messages, emails and all this stuff. My mom's this, cancer, dying, money issues, all these things. I need to ask questions, right? I need to understand the situation, because if I ask questions and I better understand the situation, if and when you need help, I'm more readily able to give it to you because I know what's going on. I understand the situation. And if I have to come to you about this, like I've mentioned already 100 times in this video, because your DPS is low, right? That's the example we're using. I need to make sure you understand what's going on. I don't just jump into it and go, hey, your DPS sucks. Okay? No, we go, hey, your DPS isn't great. We got to fix it. Is there something going on? Do you understand your spec, your rotation, your class? Is there a gear issue? Is there what's going on? What's the deal, man? What does your UI look like? All these things, all these questions that could help boost or fix this problem. Okay. Now, if someone comes to you, understand that there is a huge difference. And this is a problem that I don't want to say that I used to have. I've worked on it a great deal, but understand the difference between someone wanting to vent and someone needing advice. When someone comes to you, hey, I'd like to talk about this problem. Your first thought is simply to shut your mouth, break your glasses, and listen. Okay? Just listen. Maybe they want to vent. I hate my boyfriend's a jerk. He's a turd. I don't like him. Whatever. Or they may go, I'm looking for a job. I'm unhappy in this job. What is your advice? Now, if you're unsure, don't just simply offer advice. Here's what I do in this situation. Maybe they don't need that. Maybe they don't want that. Maybe they never intended to get advice. Maybe they did. And that's where you can ask and go, look, man, are you interested in what I would do? You want to know what I'd do in this situation? Do you know how I'd handle it? And if they say, nah, man, I'm good. No, thanks. Cool. Drop it. But if they do say, yeah, dude, what would you do? Like, if you were me in this, if you were in my shoes, what would you do in this situation? Boom. Throw that advice out there. All the rules apply. Be respectful. No yelling, no cursing, all this stuff. But yeah, there's a difference between someone venting and someone wanting advice. Now, the flip side to that, if you're coming to the table with a problem, you need to fix the problem, right? It isn't just, hey, your DPS sucks. You are missing a lot of rates, whatever the issue is. And then leave it there. That's not the solution. The solution is, your DPS sucks. We got to dig in and figure out what's going on. Okay? Now, once you approach one of your people with an issue, you have found an issue with something that they have done. You're unhappy with their performance. You're unhappy with their something about them. You need to stand your ground. This is a problem that I have seen, and I've been guilty of it. Some of my officers have been guilty of it in the past, where they go, okay, we all agree that this so-and-so person needs to fix their DPS. And we talk to them. We go, look, man, your DPS isn't great. There's problems with it. Oh, well, my gear's an issue and I missed a raid. And, you guys had me on doing this mechanic instead. And, I didn't have potions and my flask ran out. No, these are excuses. Stand your ground and go, look, okay, so we will make steps to give you your fair shake, but you need to fix your DPS. We need to see improvements because we can find people, and again, you guys can look at the compare tool and Warcraft Logs, did a video about that. And you can find people that, and you can show them the raw data and go, look, this guy did the exact same thing as you, and his DPS was 10k higher, 5k higher, whatever. You need to stand your ground and don't get steamrolled by someone who may be pissed off, who may be angry, who may be aggressive and combative, and go, whoa, I was not expecting to be called out about this, and I didn't think it was a problem. Well, it is a problem. Stand your ground, be respectful, no yelling, all this stuff. And then last but not least, and probably the second most important one, is the follow-up, right? I've approached you about an issue. You've approached me about an issue. We've talked about it. We've hopefully made strides in the positive direction where we've gone, here's a problem. We've worked to fix it. It's getting fixed. I need to follow up and go, hey, last week you talked to me about that job interview and you're kind of worried about it, and your girlfriend wasn't, he was really pissed off at you, and, your dog, whatever, and all this. Is everything okay? Did you get that job, that you interviewed for? Is your girlfriend still pissed off at you? Is your dog doing whatever your dogs do? Or, again, the opposite side, the flip side to this is, hey man, last week we talked about your DPS. Here's where you stand. Good, bad, other, etc. And just follow up. Make sure, because that gives me as a player a warm and fuzzy, right? This dude reached out. He's checking on me. Cool, man. Thanks. Yeah, I did get that job, and my dog's okay, and my girlfriend's still pissed off at me, and whatever. My DPS is better. Or hey, I double checked your DPS this week, and it did make some improvement, right? Not perfect, but you made some strides in the right direction. And I think we're doing good. So let's keep it up, and I'll check in with you, maybe in a couple of weeks. It's just the right thing to do. It's the way to go. It makes the person understand that you really do want to help. You really are interested. You are monitoring their progress, in the event that you have found issue with something that they've done. But you haven't given up on it. And I think that's a really cool idea, right? That as a leader, you can see problems and issues, and you know that things need to be fixed. But you're not going to just throw people away. And I think that that's something that, especially these days, that a lot of leaders are missing, is this idea that if you aren't up to snuff, and this is, whether it be professional, in the corporate world, whether it be in the rating scene, again, and I'll take a step back from this, it all depends on your competitiveness, right? If you're doing World First Mythic and home dude's pulling 1k DPS, well, yeah, you don't have a raid spot next week, obviously. But if you have two players that are the same class, same spec, one of them's pulling 2k DPS higher than the other one, yeah, maybe you can make some strides to fix one to bring him up towards the other one. But yeah, it's one of those things where you as a leader can truly make a difference. You can follow up, you can again sit down and start this whole process over again, and you can fix things. And I think that's really cool. That's one of the reasons why I love being a guild leader and being a supervisor, is I love fixing things like that. So with all that being said, hopefully you guys like what I'm saying here. If you didn't, you guys know what to do. There's a thumbs down button. If you did, you guys know what to do. Hopefully you can find that thumbs up button. Let me know in the comment section down below if there's other things you want me to talk about, what you thought about this one, etc., etc. And until next time, guys, I'll see ya.